Executive function and its relationship with uneven productivity for autistic people. We'll explore it and I'll provide you key strategies to overcome it. Let's go. Welcome, my friend. I'm Orion Kelly, that autistic guy. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch a video of mine. I'm all about helping you raise your level of understanding, acceptance, and appreciation of the autistic community. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, well, you are welcome to join this most amazing YouTube community, and you should check out my other YouTube channel dedicated to nothing but video podcasts. As an autistic person, and certainly a late diagnosed autistic adult, I reckon managing executive function can be one of the real daily struggles faced by autistic people. And in my view, it's a serious challenge because it can manifest into things like difficulties in planning, organization, and time management. And these difficulties can then have a knock-on effect on other things like productivity, which can have a further ripple effect of causing things like frustration, stress, low self-esteem. But my friend, the good news is, there are strategies to help autistic people overcome our challenges with executive function, leading to uneven productivity. But first, let's do a quick little whirlwind tour of what is executive function. Well, in general, simple terms, executive function is basically a set of cognitive skills. And these skills help us plan, focus, remember, and manage our time effectively. Executive functioning skills include working memory, impulse control, and task switching. Seeing a problem here? Bottom line is, without good executive function skills, it can be really hard to get things done. It can be really challenging to stay on track or meet our goals. In general terms, autistic people can struggle with executive functioning skills, and this can clearly have an impact on our ability to manage our time effectively, to stay on task. Working memory, impulse control, two pretty big components of executive function, and two relatively big challenges for autistic people. All right, I start to see the connection now, yeah? Let's talk about some actual everyday examples of how executive function and uneven productivity manifest with autistic people. Let's talk about planning and organization. Autistic people can have trouble creating and sticking to a schedule. Time management issues. Autistic adults may struggle with managing their time effectively. I know I do. And this can lead to things like procrastination and clearly further poor time management skills. Another example, inability to prioritize tasks. Oh no. Autistic adults, definitely including myself, can have difficulty in identifying which task is more important, which task should be prioritized. Not being able to identify which task is indeed the most important can lead to, well, an unproductive use of your time. Another example of how autistic adults can struggle with executive function and uneven productivity is impulsiveness. Yeah, that's right. Autistic adults may act impulsively. How good is that, by the way? In other words, autistic people from time to time may make decisions without any real consideration or concern for the consequences. Clearly, that can lead to wasted time and energy. In saying that though, eating an entire block of chocolate myself, sure, was potentially too much dairy and gave me the trots, but it was a great use of my time, I reckon. Maybe not my energy though. Another example is struggling with motivation. Autistic people, definitely late diagnosed autistic adults, can absolutely struggle with motivation, struggle to stay motivated. And this struggle leads to a lack of progress and clearly uneven productivity. Difficulty with multitasking. Now, you know what I think about the whole multitasking thing. To me, it's a fallacy, it's a myth, it doesn't exist. You can switch tasks. There's no such thing as multitasking. It's not even a good thing, or it would be legal in the country I live in to drive and use your phone. It isn't. Therefore, multitasking can't be a good thing in most situations. Generalized example, I get it, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, putting that aside, autistic people can struggle with juggling multiple tasks. Task switching from one to the other. I like to do one thing at a time, and I like to finish it before moving on. That is an appropriate in most circumstances. I'm not too bothered by that. Nevertheless, that challenge of ours to not want to or be able to juggle multiple tasks at once clearly can lead to decreased productivity and an inefficient use of our time. Here's an interesting example: difficulty with self-control. I get it, we've already spoken about impulse control, but let's broaden that out a bit. So autistic people can struggle with controlling our impulses, but also we can struggle with controlling distractions. And with this difficulty in self-control, with distractions, with exterior noise, this obviously leads to a lack of focus. And with a lack of focus, you hit uneven productivity. Another example of an autistic person's challenge with executive function and uneven productivity is a difficulty in planning and preparing. So autistic people can struggle with planning for future events. This doesn't mean we don't think about future events, or in our mind plan out, or play out, or stew on future events. But it does show that in doing that, that's taking our focus off the current event we're doing, because we're not just planning it out, we're thinking about all the different conversations, ramifications, outcomes. It becomes this extravagant mathematical equation rather than just a planning of a future event. And that drains our energy and our focus. So you see how it snowballs. What happens? Well, I guess it kind of leads to last minute scrambling, right? Last minute adjustments and scrambling, which clearly lead to decreased productivity. This example is straight from a video I did on autistic inertia, struggling with initiation. So autistic people can struggle with starting tasks, with going from not moving, being at rest, to moving, autistic inertia. And clearly our struggle with starting tasks, with getting moving, that initial movement, leads to a lack of progress and uneven productivity. Last example before we get to some key strategies to help you overcome our challenges with executive function and uneven productivity is our difficulty with adapting to change. Autistic people, just like myself, can struggle adapting to changes to our routine, to our plan, to our day, to our structures. And our difficulty in adapting to change can lead to increased stress and uneven productivity. Here are some key strategies you can implement today to help you, an autistic person, or the autistic person in your life, overcome executive function and uneven productivity challenges. Strategy 1, create a routine. I'm talking develop a daily routine and be specific. Set out times for work, for play, for rest, for everything that you need as part of your day to stay regulated and living a happy, healthy life as an autistic person in a neurotypical world. Develop your day, day by day, have it planned and structured. The hope is that schedule will help you plan and focus on what needs to be done. To be honest though, I reckon it can also really help with anxiety and stress. If you've planned out your daily schedule and you know what needs to be done, what needs to be achieved, you're not stressed or anxious about things that you wanted to do because they should be on your schedule, they should be on your list. It provides structure, it provides stability. The next key strategy, prioritize your tasks. When an autistic person has a list of tasks, there is no particular order aside from what I love the most, what makes me the most happy. Okay, so maybe it's you, the autistic person, and someone else in your life, or the parents and carers of autistic kids getting together and prioritizing the daily tasks. When I say that, I mean you're helping them formulate a list of the tasks being prioritized in order of importance, urgency. This should result in the most important tasks being completed first, and maybe more importantly, curb procrastination. Because well, this is it. This is up first, then this, then this. So what should I do first? I don't know. Maybe I'll do nothing, right? There's a difference. Another key strategy, use visual aids. Calendars, to-do lists, timers, whatever you can think of that's a visual aid that will help you. Because it is helpful. It helps planning and prioritizing. It keeps you on track, keeps you focused. It's there prompting you. It makes it easier to be productive. This next key strategy is super important and really powerful for me as an autistic adult. Break down large tasks. Breaking down large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Well, do I need to finish the sentence? You finish the sentence. It's clearly going to make the task less overwhelming, more manageable. And what's that going to do? That's going to increase the likelihood of success and completion. Breaking down the tasks also helps prioritizing the most important tasks. So an example would be, let's say the house needs to be cleaned. Okay, but what is the most top priority room in the house? That if all the house didn't get cleaned, what is the one thing you need to be cleaned? Is it the playroom, the family room, the bathroom? I'm going to start with the top. I need to clean the bathroom, then I need to clean the playroom, and if there's time, I can clean the kitchen or whatever. It's allowing you to achieve what's really required without being overwhelmed by clean the house. Oh, I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat chocolate and do nothing. This isn't just for autistic people. I'm really passionate about this particular thing. And I think teachers and parents can forget about this, but let's think about it like this. Astronauts use this. And this is a generic example. It's not a specific example. Let's say you're an astronaut, a NASA astronaut, and you're doing a spacewalk. For the next potentially 12 hours, you're going to be in space, tethered to life, working on, let's say you're working on a satellite or a telescope. You're working on a crippled telescope. Now there's about 8 bolts you've got to remove to open the telescope to fix the telescope. Do you think today my task as a NASA astronaut is to do this one giant task, which is save science? No. All the astronaut is trained to focus on is the first bolt or the first screw or the first move. All I'm focusing on, even though it's going to go for 12 hours, I'm not focusing on that. Job 1. Can you please remove bolt 1? I'm removing bolt 1. I'm not focusing on bolt 2 or the next 8 hours or the life of science progression, right? It's removed. Okay, great job, Orion. Can you go ahead and remove bolt 2? There is no other conversation. One small task at a time will remove all the bolts, will replace the faulty part, will restore the amazing, groundbreaking telescope back into space, and the secrets of the universe will be revealed because some dude decided one bolt at a time. Attached to that, this key strategy, pretty simple. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness can help with self-control and reduce impulsiveness. Being mindful strengthens your self-control and reduces your impulsiveness by being present and aware of who you are, where you are. That presumably makes you more focused and more productive. Another strategy, remove distractions. Minimize your distractions. Noise, clutter, whatever it is. This isn't hard. Doesn't matter who you are. You know the things that distract you. Do you really need 7 devices by your side while you do whatever you're trying to do? Bit of a different strategy, this one, but this key strategy is important. Seek the support and the encouragement of those around you. If you've got someone to talk to turn to when you're struggling with your executive function, with your productivity, I'm sure there's something that they can offer you, that you can't offer yourself, that can help you. So why not use that? Why not use the resources and the love of those around you? Encouragement and accountability are very powerful when it comes to staying on task and being productive. Here's a key strategy for you. Use a reward system. Oh, mama. So the bottom line is you establish a reward for completing a task. That will hopefully lead to not only more successful rates of completion, but I reckon it will add in satisfaction and motivation. Once I've completed this task, then I'll allow myself to have a bit of a scroll through social media, have a bit of a look-see. Once I complete this task, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to just game for a while. It's entirely up to you what it is, but I think they're actually really important. Practicing self-care is actually a really key strategy in overcoming executive function and uneven productivity challenges. If you don't take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being, how are you expected to perform any tasks? Well, you shouldn't be. In saying that though, if you're not putting in the effort to take care of those things, but then still trying to complete tasks, then you've missed the entire point of why you're not completing those tasks. It has to start with you. Self-care. It's important, and it's your job. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a break. Give yourself some slack, for goodness sakes. Be kind to yourself. Final key strategy for overcoming executive function and uneven productivity for autistic people is be patient and persistent. Overcoming these challenges of uneven productivity, of executive function, they take time. They may take a lifetime. It may be a work in progress that never ends. You're an autistic person. You have a different brain. You were born different. These are challenges you were born with. So this is not something you can just watch my video, click your fingers, put it into practice and they're done. I'm certain some of these strategies will help you straight away, but it's going to take time to get to where you want to go. And you've got to be consistent with it and persistent. Challenges with executive function for autistic people and uneven productivity go hand in hand, but hopefully talking about it and providing some examples and strategies can help you navigate your way through it. Now, if you have some ideas for other topics you'd like me to cover in upcoming videos, then please, let's hear about them in the comments below. I really do appreciate your support. Thank you so much for it. Until my next video, thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.